good evening. I was actually just going to bed, but I was listening to Ian, and I was like, no, I've got to jump in. Unbelievable. So basically, is his name? Is he like a Does he use an alias?
Henry, yeah. Well, I'm not sure he's a troll. I mean,
the first video, the first person who came up with Paul Thorpe, the original guy, that was him. The second guy was actually him, who actually came up as Henry, and that was him again.
Well, he's got Richard going, so he's done a good job.
No, do you know what? Can I be honest with you, Paul? Right, I'm going to be very serious about this, right? Because your channel is a big channel, right? And when scumbags like that come on, and they're deliberately lying, right? We get this from people that go on GB News. We get it from people that go on the mainstream media and the BBC. We know what they believe. And it's kind of, don't get me wrong, I'll debate any of them all day long, and I'll win every single debate because I know what the truth is and they don't. But the point is, giving them the oxygen of publicity is pretty much a thankless task because you're not going to get anywhere with it.
No, you're right. The problem is, Richard, is that when you do live show, we don't have the technology, the big chat. We don't know what these people are going to say. I don't know what Katie's going to say, but let's hear it. Katie, what are you going to say?
Go on, Katie.
I've got a couple of things to say. Excuse me. The first thing, sorry, I've got a very dry mouth. I've been out drinking all night, so I'm very, very dry. But the first thing I want to say is, with the grooming gang inquiry, everyone's like, there's no correlation between ethnicity and this and that. We don't need to do the inquiry. Well, if that's the case, that's even more reason to do an inquiry, isn't it? Yeah. To prove it wrong, right? That's the first thing. The second thing to say is, through millions of years of biology, we've all been programmed with something that we cannot control, and it's our instinct, right? Yeah. So I can't speak for all of the men out there, but as a woman, particularly when you have children, the instinct to protect them is all-consuming. As you know, if you're parents, anyone who's a parent knows that feeling. It's a complete drive in you. You cannot ignore it. Yeah, so when you have men like that other guy coming in and saying, oh, they're nothing to worry about. We've got millions of years of evolution on our side. If I know that there's potentially going to be a problem with that person, I can feel it and I don't want to be near them. But these people, they're so arrogant. They're so arrogant that they think that their views and their feelings take precedent over how we have evolved. I can't help it if I feel scared of these people. I'm not saying they're all bad people, but I'm saying if there's a group of people who I know aren't culturally aligned with me, don't like women particularly, and have a propensity towards sexual violence, I'm going to stay away from them. And I don't care what anyone calls me because of that. That's how I'm programmed, and that's it. And that was my say for the night.
Brilliant. That was fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Some common sense, for goodness sake. We've had so many dipsticks on this channel tonight.
Welcome tonight.
The thing is, take the science out of it. This isn't difficult. We see animals do it. Animals protect their young. We're animals. We're doing what we've always done, except this time someone's saying, no, you're wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think I've got to invite Lee back in as well, because Lee's actually gone and come back. He's obviously, I can see steam coming out of his ears. Come on, Lee, go on, get it off your chest, brother.
It was just listening to that last chat, and when you get to local politics, you get the far comments.
I have to listen to that every time I go on another channel. Yeah, there's a guy called Society Act he has his own channel. Henry goes on that channel and does the same thing on his channel. And I've been there, and I literally, every time he comes in, I leave.
But do you know what? I like to listen to them shoot themselves in the foot. I think it's fun. You just let them chat shit. Do you know what I
mean? You guys are brilliant.
I'll tell you why I get annoyed with it. Because I've spoke to girls and women who've been raped by these scumbags. Yeah. So it's not a game to me. It's not let's have some laughs and giggles because he's a lefty. It's a very serious thing. And, these people are dangerous. And they get enough. I'll be honest with you, I think the left are far more dangerous than Islam. Yeah. They're in control of everything. They're the ones that are degrading our country. And anyone knows me knows how very, very worried I am about the Islamization of the UK. But the left are in control at the minute. And that little twat should not get the oxygen of publicity. That's what I think. We get that on the BBC and Sky News all the time. I don't want to hear it on here, to be honest with you. That's my opinion. If I'm on the thing, it'll get shut down anyway.
Let me bring in Neil, because Neil's waving away at me there. We've got, let's have a quick look. We're going to be wrapping it up soon, guys. We've got Sinead and Neil. Good evening, Sinead. How are you doing?
Not too bad, you?
Yeah, you're all still awake there, everyone. It's a late one tonight, isn't it? What's on your mind tonight, darling?
That man. Oh, I wasn't going to come in, but he's infuriated me. I've spoken to everyone. I've spoken to you before, so you know my background. My father was non-practicing Muslim, what you'd call moderate, didn't practice. They're the only moderates, ones who do not practice. Yeah, absolutely. Ones who've never gone to a mosque. They go to a mosque, they are not moderate. If they're walking around with the dress on, they are not moderate. I don't know what it's called. My dad never went in a mosque in his life. My mum's Catholic. I've grown up knowing both sides. My dad told me all the stuff that they talk about. I've been a victim of one of these men off the boats. He grabbed my arm in Ilford High Street. I was crossing the road. Oh, hang on. My cat's just turned you on. Sorry. My cat turned the telly on. It's very clever. But he grabbed my arm and he wouldn't let me pass. Kept asking him to come back. Lovely lady, I want to have good time. Grabbing my arm. And still kept shouting at me when I got away. I've been surrounded by 7 of these men. I think they were Syrians. 7 of them drunk, surrounded me. I got away when a couple came jogging. I've been followed down the street. I've been harassed in a cab. It's endless. I could go on and on and on. This man, where does that man live? He obviously doesn't live in this country, or he lives in some cave somewhere.
He does live in the UK.
Well, he's living somewhere where this hasn't got to them yet. Because these are the kind of people
I actually don't think these people even care. I think they've got no moral compass.
But that's the point.
I think even if it happened to his wife or one of his daughters, if he's got any, I don't think he'd care. He'd still say, oh, poor little migrants just come in and rape my daughter. But that's what they do there. You know, he didn't know. Well, they should be told, but they're not told that. They are told the complete opposite, and I know this is what they think. I've been told, because of my background, I get told stuff. They don't tell other people.
Do you know what? One of the reasons I like to let people like that have their say is because anyone watching this tonight that's on the fence, it should make up their goddamn mind and it should convince them as to the battle we are fighting. They need to be heard so that people know how skewed their brain is. Let me bring in Neil.
But Paul, they also need to be challenged and challenged very robustly.
Absolutely.
You can't tickle their ears. You've got to box their ears.
Yeah. Let me bring in Neil.
I've tried. I allow the one underneath me, living in the flat underneath me. Left if she don't listen.
Yeah.
Neil, good evening. Can you hear me, mate?
Good evening, mate. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I just wanted to say that's why I'm on here, because of that Henry the 2, whatever he is. I don't know what he is. His
dad was a tool maker, Neil. His dad was a tool maker.
Absolutely, mate. I tell you what, I'm 64 and I'm knocking on tonight. I don't know about next week. I'm sorry for saying that, but you know. Just don't see why we should appease these people. And give him all the airtime. And no, Paul, you've got to hear what he's got to say. But why do we have to keep explaining ourselves as patriots to these idiots? Do you know what I mean? And like you said before, I'd go after them first before I went after the Muslims. I really would. I think it's disgraceful.
Well, that's not the problem. It's people like them that are letting this happen.
They are the problem,
They keep encouraging it. They keep encouraging it.
They are the facilitators.